Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at Uolo. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.uolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link, and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this class.
Hey there, kids. How are you doing? I hope you had a look at the submission video and it made sense to you on how to go ahead and make the submissions for all of the classes that you've been going ahead and attending. Now, today is a new class and we're going to be going ahead and learning something really, really new and exciting. And I hope you are excited about today's class. Now, before we get started with what we're going to go ahead and actually do today and the list of materials and everything else, I want to go ahead and discuss a little bit about, the certificate program as well as the feedback program. Now, the certificate program is a really, really simple program wherein you will go ahead and get a certificate for any of the courses that you're going ahead and attending. Now, what do I mean by this? Very, very simple. For example, right now we're going ahead and doing the sketching course. Now we have 8 classes in this course. So if you go ahead and attend all of the classes of this course, plus if you go ahead and make all of the submissions of this course, then what will happen is at the end you will go ahead and receive a certificate. Now, what is the idea behind this? Why are we trying to go ahead and give you a certificate? What is the whole concept behind this? Very, very simple. If you go ahead and get a certificate, what happens is you can go ahead and use it sort of like an identification that this is the skills that you have gathered, or this is what you have learned, and this is what you can showcase. Now, the reason also is because you're already attending these classes. You're also, many of you are already going ahead and putting in the effort to make in the submissions. So if you go ahead and actually attend all of the classes and make all of the submissions, then we know for a fact that you've gone ahead and gathered all the knowledge that I or any other teacher is going ahead and providing you, or giving you. So it becomes a very, very nice and formal, proper way of providing a proof that you have gone ahead and learned what we have taught you. I have been going ahead and looking at all of your beautiful submissions, and I know you guys deserve getting a certificate for all of the hard work that you've been putting in. Now, apart from that, we also have the feedback program. Now, what is the concept of a feedback program? It's a very, very simple program wherein, when you go ahead and make your submission, you get selected as part of the top 10. Now, if you do get selected as part of the top 10, then you will go ahead and get a personalized feedback. Now, in terms of the feedback, I basically divided normally into two, kinds. One is a positive feedback, and second is sort of like a critical feedback. Now, positive feedback, I mean, is any form of feedback wherein I believe that you can go ahead and, you are good at something, and you can go ahead and continue practicing that, and I feel that you will excel in it. Now, critical feedback is going to be not, I would say, negative feedback, but it's basically going to be feedback wherein I feel on certain areas or certain points you can go ahead and improve. Now, what is the reason I will be giving you this feedback? Mainly is because if you take that feedback about what you can go ahead and excel or improve on, then what will happen is you'll be able to work on it. Someone will be there to guide you on it. Once you work on that, what will happen is you'll be able to become a better artist, or a better whatever we're talking about at that point of time. So all of those pointers are very, very, very necessary, and I am someone who can give that to you, and all of your teachers are some people who can give that to you. So make sure you go ahead and attend all of your classes, and you get that information or feedback from them. So for that, it's a must to go ahead and make your submissions. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to go ahead and do in today's class. Now, in the last class, what we did was we went ahead and used the technique of blending or shading, and we actually did a teacup. Now, we're going to be doing something similar to that today. We're going to be actually going ahead and using the blending technique itself, but what we are going to actually go ahead and shade is a bowl today. Now, you might be thinking, isn't a bowl and a teacup literally almost the same shape, and won't the shading be exactly the same as the previous one? Yes and no. Now, let me give you a yes and no why I have given you both of those answers. Yes, because they are exactly the same shade. Yes, because they can actually be shaded the same exact way without the handle and the saucer at the bottom. Both of them will look exactly the same. And you already know how to do that. But no, because what if we change the direction of light? Now, in the last class, what we did was we decided that the light was coming from the top, and we decided that that's it, we're going to go ahead and shade based on where the light is coming from. And that we finished. But did we go ahead and change the direction of the light and actually learn that if the light is coming from a different direction, how do we actually go ahead and shade it? Not necessarily, right? So that is what the key point is, and what is important when it comes down to actually doing different forms of still life and doing similar shapes. And though this is going to be a similar shape, the whole concept of where the light is going to be coming from is going to be different, A, and B, where how we actually shade the object based on the light is going to be completely different. That's pointer number two. And pointer number three is, in the last class we went ahead and did just the teacup and the saucer, but we never went ahead and did a shadow for both of those. But in today's class, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a shadow for that bowl as well, in order to give you a little bit more insight on how you can go ahead and make things look more realistic. So now you've understood the concept of what we're going to be doing today. So actually, let's get started with today's class. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to pick out all of our materials that we need. The first thing that we need for today's class is going to be a sheet of paper. Now here I have a normal drawing book, sketching book, journal book, whatever you want to call it. If you do not have any of these, and you have an unruled sheet of paper, that would absolutely do as well. If you do not have that, and if you have probably like a A4 size sheet of paper, that would do exceptionally well as well. The next thing that you need is going to be a pencil. Now, like I have told you that, you can go ahead and take any of these pencils wherein, you have a nice dark outline coming in. Make sure you have like a good dark pencil that is sharp, because you do not want a light pencil at all. If you take a light pencil, what is going to happen is the shading technique that I'm teaching you won't actually show up. So make sure you have a nice, good dark pencil with you. The last thing, if you need, you can go ahead and grab an eraser if you need. This is, I do not suggest going ahead and erasing at any point of time, but if you do need it, you can go ahead and take it. So first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and actually understand the concept of how we're going to go ahead and shade it. So let me just show that bit to you. I always do this in my classes, so if you're new here, you will kind of get the idea. So this is the bowl that we're going to be shading today, and here on the top we're going to be going ahead and actually doing a small illustration of where and how our bowl is going to look. So we're going to go ahead and draw the bowl, and then we're going to go ahead and mark out the dark, medium, lights and everything. So this is going to be sort of like a concept. Now this part of it you don't have to draw with me right away. wait for me to draw it, and then I'm going to replay the whole thing and draw it at that point of time. The reason I'm going to make you do that is so that you kind of get a better idea or understanding, because I saw that a lot of you seemed a little bit more confused last time, and I do not want you to look confused at all this time. So first thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and draw the top of the bowl. So don't draw it with me right now, just watch what I'm doing. So top of the bowl, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom of the bowl. Now here we're going to go ahead and firstly discuss about where our light is going to come from. Don't go ahead and draw it right at this point of time. Just understand the whole explanation, and then I'll give you a chance to go ahead and draw it. Now last time we decided that the light is coming from like this or from the top. It is going to be the same concept for both, whatever shading that we did. We did a teacup that time, but today we're going to be doing a bowl. It's a little simpler, and the change in light will basically be understood better if you're doing it like this. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and decide that our light is going to be coming from the right hand side. So that arrow is the light, and this time what I'm deciding is we're going to have like a medium set of light. So I'm going ahead and doing 3 dashes, sort of like an indication of how much light is coming in. If you go ahead and do 1 dash, it could probably lay less light. 3 dashes is medium, and do 5 dashes and it's going to look like there's a lot of light. So I've gone ahead and done a 3 dashes to kind of identify that there is a medium amount of light coming in. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to understand how to shade it. Now, if you remember, whatever space that we have wherein the light is hitting is going to be the light tone. For example, again, look at my face. Here, the light is coming from. So this part is light, then we have medium, and then we have dark. So, that is the same concept that we're going to follow for the inside part of it. Same thing like how we did with the cup. So let's mark that point out. So we have a good amount of light, then we have a medium, and then we have a dark. So that is our three bifurcation for the main part of the bowl. But there is another part of the bowl, which is the inside of the bowl, which is going to actually be the confusing bit for today's class. In the last class, it was a lot more easier because we didn't really have to worry or focus about it. But in today's class, it's going to be a little different. So let's understand that bit. Now, when we have a light coming from this direction, we have light here, medium here, dark here. But when light is coming and hitting this side of the bowl, automatically the inside of the bowl is not getting any light, because this bowl is getting the light here, but inside there will be no light. So automatically what happens is that part becomes dark. Then we have medium, and then we have a light. Now what is happening is it's hitting here, so the whole light is going over here. So automatically inside the bowl it's dark, but there is enough light that it's reaching the inside towards this side. Okay, so we're going to have dark on the inside, then medium, and then light. So I'm just going to draw that part out, mark those points out for you. So dark, medium, and then a light. So towards right at the end we have light, then we have medium, and then we have a dark. Now I hope you understood that concept about how inside won't have the light. When we actually shade it out and you look at it, you will understand it because of how realistic it looks. If you haven't understood it right away right now, it's a very simple concept. So if you are confused, don't worry. Once you look at the whole shaded image, you will understand. And now I'm just going to go ahead and write the light, medium, dark portions off of the whole thing, and for the top as well. Perfect. So now I have my whole diagram of what I'm going to do right now. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to actually go ahead and draw this whole diagram out as well. Now I'm going to play the whole diagram out once again, so as to, for you to go ahead and draw it alongside me. But I would not recommend you to go ahead and say it. If you go ahead and mark it out on your own, what will happen is you'll be getting a better idea on how the whole thing actually works. So if you can go ahead and do it by yourself, great. If you feel no, I didn't understand the concept yet and I need to go ahead and draw the diagram with you, then watch it with me and do it. So here first draw, we'll start off with the bowl. So take your pencil in hand, starting with the curve on top, sort of like an oval on top, and then go ahead and do the U at the bottom. Perfect. Step number 1. Step number two, we're going to go ahead and mark out the outside part of the bowl, wherein we're going to go ahead and first mark out the light. Before that, we're going to mark the light source of it. So the arrow and the three arrows. So the three lines basically indicating the medium tone. And now we're going to mark out the light tone, doing dotted lines to identify it easier. And then we're going to do the inside bowl. So we're going to do this side, we're going to do dark and then medium. And then we're going to go ahead and do arrows throughout. First off light, then medium, and then dark. And same thing on the top. First we'll do light, medium, and then dark. Well done. So now I'm going to wait for you just in case I'm seeing a lot of you are still going ahead and drawing it. Take your time if you're taking a little bit of extra time to go ahead and do it. I saw a lot of you were trying to figure it out on your own rather than copying what I did, which I'm very happy about. It shows that, you're going to excel and do a very, very good job. So excellent job for all of those, who are trying to do it by yourself rather than, just copying what I do. Very well done. Perfect. All right, so excellent job, everybody. Very well done. Okay, so I can see that everybody's done a wonderful job in terms of, doing their drawing of the basic bowl. Now we can actually go ahead and do the bowl at the bottom. Here, just remember the concept of shading that you've already gone ahead and learned of the dark, medium, light. Make sure, you do that as neatly as you can. Now let's go ahead and do that part. So start off by drawing the top portion of the bowl. I'm going ahead and drawing an oval. So here, since it's a bigger bowl, I'm going to go ahead and, do it in short dashes wherever I need to. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom part here, taking short dashes. I'm not going ahead and doing a whole curve as is because it can be a little hard. So doing the short dashes. And then what I did was I raised off that extra line that I had there and drew a darker line in order to get my drawing good. So there we go, we have our bowl. So just erased out that extra portion that wasn't, looking good and marked out the right part of it. Perfect. Looking at everybody's bowls looking very nice. It's okay if your bowl shape is not looking perfect. There's no hard and fast rule that your bowl has to look absolutely brilliant or perfect. There's no reason for it. Good. All right, everybody's done a wonderful job. Now, if you remember all of our previous classes, we always start with the darker tone and never the lighter tone. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to start with the outside dark portion of it. So here I'm taking and putting as much pressure as I can on my pencil to go ahead and get a nice dark tone. Now do this slowly again. Don't want to rush into it. Take your time while doing this. There's no need to do it fast or, in a way that you won't be able to do it nicely. Take your time and do it. Now there I've gone ahead and done my dark tones. I'm going to now wait for all of you. Go ahead and do the dark tone like I have done it right here. Perfect. Everybody's done a good job. Very well done. Good. Very well done. Excellent. Okay, so everybody's dark tone is looking spectacular. Very good. Now we can move on to the medium tone. Taking my pencil again and going a little lighter than earlier. I'm going ahead and, trying to blend that in as much as possible. You can go ahead and choose whatever direction you want over here. You don't have to do it straight, slanting, anything. You can just go ahead and do it in a direction that you are comfortable with. So take your time in going ahead and doing it. So, I'm going ahead and doing it till I have marked it out. So you saw I had marked out 1/3 of the bowl as a dark and medium. So till 1/3 part of it, I'm going ahead and doing that medium portion right there. And I'm going to wait for you all again. You're doing a good job. Very good, everybody. Happy with how it's looking. Well done. So blend it out wherever you feel like it's not blending out neatly. Go over it. Take your time and blend it out. You've learned how to blend it out. You're seeing your last submissions, and all of you have done a good job with your blending. Everybody's done a very neat job. So good, 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 excellent work, everybody. Well done. Perfect. Everybody's finished their medium tone. Now we can move on to the light. So now here we're going to go ahead and slowly do our light tone. Here you can go ahead and do patches. You don't have to do it exactly, neatly, perfectly or anything. Take your time while doing it. Just do simple, simple, simple shading. Perfect. As you can see, it's looking nice. Now it's okay if you have those center lines in it. It makes no difference because it adds more to the bowl. It makes it look more realistic. So no problem if you have those kind of lines over there. Make it look as nice as you can. So here we have our light tone done. Again, waiting for all of you to go ahead and finish it up, and then we can move on to the next part of it. Good. All right, well done, everybody. I'm seeing everybody's done a good, good, good job. Now, since we've gone ahead and done the whole bottom part, what we're going to go ahead and do next is we're going to go ahead and do the whole top part of it, wherein we have the dark, medium, light. Now, again, here I'm going to go ahead and start with the dark inside part of it. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to also go ahead and lay about a little bit of the top space, for medium tone, because it becomes easier for blending. So I'm going to go ahead and do dark, right there, and I'm going to leave sort of like a line of on the top part of it for my medium part. So you can see dark, and I'm leaving the rest of that small patches wherever I've left for medium, because it just becomes easier while blending. If you do the whole thing dark, then we are blending it out, it might be a little hard. Also, the space is narrowed. In the bottom part we had a lot more space to work with, so we were able to manage it. But in the top part, because the place is very narrow, it can be a little hard for you to go ahead and do it. Okay, good. Everybody's dark is looking good. Now we can move on to the medium. So you can see I'm going ahead and doing my medium tone, using that point to, blend out easily. It looks a lot more natural. So doing my medium tone. Perfect. So here you can see my medium tone. I've almost stretched all the way like halfway. Now this I have also done in the picture on top. So have a look at that. I've not gone ahead and done 1/3 like I did earlier. I have marked half of it almost. And that's exactly how I've gone ahead and done my shading. Good, everybody. Well done. Excellent job. Well done. Take your time. Whoever is, needs to take a little bit of time, don't worry. If you feel like, all of us are going a little faster, whoever's done and me, if you're going a little faster, take a moment, just watch what we're doing, and then you can get back to what you were doing. You don't have to do it as fast as we were doing it. Well done. Okay, now we'll move on to the light tone. Light tone, very simple. All of you know how to go ahead and do it. Just do a simple light tone. Perfect, everybody. Now here you can see, they're sort of like kind of blending into one another. So I'm just going to go ahead and darken that line out in order to create a differentiation between that dark and that light. So just going ahead and doing that differentiation bit out right there. Perfect. So now what we're going to go ahead and do next is we're going to go ahead and do the bottom shadow part of it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the shadow part to you before we actually go ahead and do it. You can go ahead and continue your light tone and darkening that edge if you need to. And I'm going to go ahead and explain the shadow part of it. Now, like the light is coming from the right hand side. So automatically the shadow of the bowl will come on the left hand side on the bottom ground part of it. Now the part of the shadow that is closer to the bowl is going to be darker, and the part that goes further away is going to go lighter. Now why is it going to be darker where, the right under the bowl? That's because the light is getting blocked by the bowl. So it's going to be darker, then it's going to get medium, and then it's going to eventually fade away to nothingness. So closer to the bowl, almost right here, we're going to do dark, then we're going to do medium, and then we're going to do light. Now here you don't have to do it neatly specifically. It's the first time you're doing shadows, so do it as comfortably as you can. So here I'm just shading with medium tone, just very simply with medium tone. I'm going to wait for you, do this medium tone bit. Perfect. And now we're going to go ahead and do our dark tone. Closer, like I said, closer, we'll do darker tone. Perfect. That's it. Well done. Good job, everybody. Now, let me just explain that bit to you once again. Now, whenever you are looking at any object, just something to always remember. Now, this is if you, even if you were doing the teacup, then whatever side the light is coming from. For example, for the teacup, the light was coming from the top. Then the bottom of the teacup would basically have the shadow. Now, here on the right hand side, our light is coming from. So on the left hand side, we have our shadow. If the light was coming from the right left hand side, then the shadow would be on the right hand side. So always remember that. Now one thing that can be a very important question that everybody will have is, why is the shadow flat like that? So the shadow is basically flat like that because the shadow is being created on a surface. So a bowl normally you will keep on a table, you will keep on any surface, right? Whether it's the floor or a table or a desk or whatever you're going to be keeping it on, it's going to have a surface that it actually sits on. So when it has a surface to sit on, what will happen is it will create the shadow on that surface as well. So it won't be flying anywhere. It'll always be flat on the ground. The only time when a shadow can look different, that is it can go ahead and have it on something else, is if there is a wall at the back. Now for example, let's say this bowl is there, it's sitting on the edge. So that is, you go ahead and you have an edge like this and the bowl is sitting right here. Then it can have a shadow on the wall and it can have a shadow on the floor, desk, whatever you want to go ahead and call it. So those are the two times that you can go ahead and have a shadow. Other times, not really, you won't really have a shadow. I'm looking at everybody's work and it's looking excellent and very well done. So good job, everybody. All right. So I can say that everybody's done an excellent job with their work today. I am so happy with how everybody's gone ahead and done their bowl shading. I hope now by looking at it, you've kind of got the concept of how you have the inside and the outside. So let me just show that part to you again. So if you see, you have the inside of the bowl, the light is coming from this direction. Here we don't have any light hitting, but here by the time it comes here, we have some light hitting. It's already looking 3D, also because of that contrast that we have of the light and dark inside and outside, plus we have that shadow going on. So make sure you go ahead and pinpoint out those smaller details. This course is created in that manner wherein you go ahead and learn how to do things step by step. So in the last class, though we learned how to do something like a teacup or a bowl, the shape was similar, we didn't learn these small finesses or these small pointers that make something look realistic. So keep note of that, make pointers of that wherever you can, because that's going to help you in the future. Now apart from that, what we're going to go ahead and talk about is certificate program as well as the feedback program. Certificate program, very important. If you're missing any classes, make sure to not miss them. Take out time to go ahead for any classes of a particular course, because you're going to go ahead and learn so much by attending the whole course. So like in today's class, we were connected everything to the previous class, and the previous class was connected to today's class, and so on and so forth. So every class is going to be connected to one another. Make sure you go ahead and attend all of the classes of a particular course and make all of your submissions, and then you'll get a certificate. Apart from that, the feedback program, you will be getting personalized feedback, whether it is going to be critical feedback or positive feedback. Either way, you're going to be getting feedback if you get selected as part of that top 10. Apart from all of that, just make sure you're making your submissions on time to get selected as part of that top 10. If nothing, for me to just go ahead and see your work, so as to form my classes the right way, so that I can go ahead and teach my best. All right. I hope you had a good time today and you had fun shading what you shaded today. Today's submission is going to be obviously this bowl. So I will see that in my submissions. Make sure to make your submission and have a look at the submission video if you don't know how to go ahead and do your submissions. Bye bye.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at Uolo. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.uolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions